Okay guys, I am finishing off crafting of my 4K ME storage cells, and boom, we're in business. Now, I can do things like this. Storing all my random things in this terminal. It's being stored on the drive. You can see each drive can hold 64 types of items and a certain number of bytes total. And the more items you have in there, the more bytes it takes up. I'm not entirely sure, and I don't think many people are, what the conversion rate for that is. But it is pretty good. I mean, so let's put all this stuff in. So, you know, that's taking up stuff that took up quite a bit of a bag. It's taking up less than a quarter, or no, a little more than a quarter of that. Let's try putting in a bunch of copper. Yeah. Oh, didn't quite get it all. That's 1,300 copper. Barely a dent. So you see most of the storage comes from having unique types of items inside. That is the main limiter most of the time. You can put a lot of the same type of item in and not have much of an issue. And because of that, this is an excellent way to store all of your super high volume stuff, like these metals that we have a ton of. Now it takes power. Every block we add to our AE system, which can get a lot bigger and a lot more complicated, including some really cool auto crafting mechanics. But every block we add to it is going to increase the amount of power that it uses. So it is important that we keep track of how much we're using it. I'm just going to put this over here. And for the time being, I'm going to store this and this. And then I'm going to come over here, start storing all of this stuff too. Okay. This is going to make our lives so much easier. We can see we've got all that. We're still only about halfway full on the first drive. I'm going to put all this stuff in, and I can even, this is a cool shortcut, while I'm in the ME interface, if I shift double click, yeah, and it's not really working in the chest, but here I can shift double click and it adds all of that item into the chest for me. Okay, this is the true test. We've got a ton more here. Let's just see whether it stores it all. I love these things. because it's still nowhere near full. Yep. Okay. I am going to finish putting all this into that ME system. Then I'm going to begin the tedious task of bringing all the rest of our stuff here. There is actually, come to think of it, a way we can speed that up. First of all, I'm going to put my ring of magnetization back on. But let's just look at what is involved in getting an ME import bus. So, for that we need an annihilation core, a sticky piston, iron. Oh, we can totally do that. That's going to make our lives much easier. Okay, let's do this. Finish these last couple bits here. Okay, now we want an annihilation core. We want sticky piston and 2 iron ingots. Sticky pistons, I know we have some back at the base, so let's do that. And let me show you how I plan on moving all these chests. For that, I'm going to use my matter transporter. Okay, first let's grab a sticky piston. Cool. We can use this to craft our import bus, and I'll show you how we're going to use that in a second. But let's just grab this chest. I've used this a little bit in what I've already transferred over to the other base, or to our secret room. Oh, and this happens every time. Every time for some reason, lately. Oh, that happens too. Okay, so if I hold on to the key and forget to change to another object when I pass through the portal, it ports me back after a moment. And every time recently I port in, I get sent out in the wall. What I might do, I think it might be because I have these blocks covered up. I think what I'm going to do, at least to test, I'll uncover those, see if that helps next time we come in. Okay, here is how we're going to do the importing. We have the ME import bus. That gets put on a cable, just like the terminal did. And we can even take, I believe I have, yeah, an acceleration card. So I made these for speeding up the inscriber. And we can look, the recipe isn't that bad. It's a Fluix crystal, and some diamonds, and one of those calculation processors. I might, actually, let's make some more of these now. So I'll need a calculation processor. I'll need some diamonds, and I want to keep my diamonds with me for the most part. It's good to have all your most commonly used crafting materials with you, I think, at least for the time being. And some iron and Fluix crystals. So if we do this. Oh, and you can see I can make one of these. Redstone. And actually, redstone is something we are running pretty low on, so it's something that I am definitely going to want to be a little bit careful about using in the near future for a little while. Okay, let's transfer these over. Great, okay. Now, let's show how this works. If we right-click, it places down the chest that was stored in the matter transporter, and you can see it starts taking the items from that chest, putting them into our ME system. If we add 3 acceleration cards here, wow, goes much, much faster. So, I am going to go make a couple of trips back and forth, transferring stuff back into our ME system, and hopefully we don't run out of room. I will be back in a minute when I'm done doing that. Okay, as you can see, I did a little more than I said I would. Some time has passed. Not only did I fill out the entire storage drive, I really needed to. Anyway, filled out this drive. Our ME system is now full of all of our stuff, which is fantastic. As you can see, I also made a heck of a lot more. Ooh, missing a piece of wood. That is not allowed. There. Okay. Heck of a lot more machines. Let me quickly walk you through it. This you all recognize. Let's see. I moved the induction smelter up here because I wanted to move the magma crucible over to make room for the fluidic armor infuser. This is from the Flora mod. It's going to get us really awesome armor, but there's a problem. We don't have enough diamonds. And that's a problem that we will address in just a moment. I'm just going to walk you through these other things. I made a painting machine. This allows me to make some really nifty conduit covers. So this looks like cobblestone. Heck, it even looks like cobblestone to Wayla up at the top of my screen. But if I take out my wrench, we can see that it's actually a facade, and that inside are my conduits. So anyway, wanted to do that just so I could clean up that wall, so whoever lives, or visits I guess, because I'm the only one that lives in this dimension, whoever visits over there won't have to see a very ugly bunch of conduits. Let's see, I also just added some wood facades to the ME crafting terminal. I don't really love the way that looks, but whatever. I think it's better than just having a bare cable there. Finally, we have this thing up here. This is, as far as I can tell, the smallest you can make a compressed cobblestone generator. So here's what happens. This is our stone generating chest from Better Chests. This is an auto packager from the auto packager mod. Very simply, the auto packager takes things that are in the chest to the next of it, to the left of it, and it crafts them in either a 2x2 or a 3x3 pattern. In this case, it's doing 3x3, outputting to this chest, which just acts as a buffer, because this item conduit is sucking it up putting it back in here. That way, this chest is generating cobble that will get turned into compressed cobble, and when 9 pieces of compressed cobble end up back in this chest, those will get converted. As you can see, I've gotten all the way up to 2 pieces of quintuple compressed cobble. Why do I want that? Well, in order for me to show you, I need more diamonds. Yes, diamonds all around. Diamonds. Diamonds are forever. I've got a few more things over here. I put a refinery here. This is from the Practicalities mod. It lets me melt down armor that is full durability. So yeah, I don't really have any. I've melted it all down, but it's nice. It's mostly vanilla armor. I haven't found mod armor it works on, but anytime I get a gold chest plate, I throw it in here for a little extra gold. That's primarily why I made it. And up here I have a mini tool forge. This is so that I can augment my tools while I am here in my home away from home. I made myself one more tool. I made myself this Vorpal Cleaver. Well, I named it Vorpal Cleaver. It's got as much beheading as I could get on it, and that is so that I can get the skulls of, for example, wither skeletons. I also explored the end a little bit, but we'll get to that some other time. I'm mostly looking into the Hardcore Ender expansion mod and what it adds and what cool things we can do with it. And then, final thing, I don't know if I showed you this, but I've been brewing mead. Basically, from upstairs here, I grab honeycomb out of this bee box. I turn it into honey and mix it with water and can add it to the barrel. Looks like this. I can fill up to 3 buckets worth in here. Then you add nether wart, and you can add like either glowstone or redstone. Basically what it makes are potions that mead gives you regeneration. So this is an extended one, regeneration for 2 minutes, and this is a potent one, regeneration 2, but only for 22 seconds. I figure that could come in handy if we want to do some, like a wither fight or something. Having those might be nice. Okay, so I've been mentioning repeatedly that I'm low on diamonds. And I've got this little area that is chopped away from the wall here and has power running underneath it. What could that be for? Well, if you saw my tab here, you might have guessed this is for Minechem. Minechem is a mod that allows you to decompose elements or items into their constituent compounds and elements and put them back together again in different forms. Yeah, the Dark Lumiere has made a rocket. He's gonna beat us to the moon. That's too bad. Unless I bang out a rocket tonight and beat him there. I feel that might be a little unfair, or it might be really funny. I have to think about it some more. Anyway, Minechem. So, you'll have to forgive me. I'm going to try to explain Minechem as simply as I can. I haven't played with it myself, but I've seen a couple of other people do it. But something that you should know, I am a scientist by profession. Like, that's my day job. So if I explain things in a kind of technical way, please forgive me. Feel free to ask questions in the comments, and I will answer to the best of my ability. Oh, I found that if I turn off my night vision in here, it's a lot brighter. So I have to try to remember to do that more. And do I have my... No. Oof. My field of view goes crazy when I have my speed on, so I try to keep it off. Unless I've got to run long distances. Okay. Minechem. Let's look at it from here. So, the thing we need to start Minechem is a microscope. Not too hard. We need 2 of these convex lenses. And 1 concave lens. And I think then we can make a microscope lens. Oop. And a microscope. Awesome. Let's see. You know what? Okay, I'll do it after this. I'm going to raise this up. I think most of these things will look better rather than on the floor. They'd look better on the windowsill. So after I finish talking about this, I will move everything. Move the conduits up and yeah. Okay. With the microscope, we are going to want a chemist's journal. So let's see. Why, that's quite simple. Awesome. This keeps note of all of our scientific discoveries. Okay, so if we put the journal in here, we can then do things like take a piece of coal, place it in the microscope, and it's going to tell us that we can make the coal in the chemical synthesis machine and decompose it in the chemical decomposer. Now if we take our journal out, we can see that we have coal as an entry in the journal. Okay, let's look at something else. Yes, that's right. Diamonds. Diamonds are made of carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotubes are themselves made out of carbon from diamonds. Sorry, from coal, maybe, if we wanted. Not entirely sure yet. Let's build some machines, find out how easy it is for us to make that happen. Okay, first I just want to see what this is. Polytool. Wow. Made from a lot of carbon nanotubes. I'll have to look up what that does, because it's certainly very expensive. Okay, so we want a chemical decomposer. For that we will need, well, this isn't that hard. I'm going to make 2 of those and use aluminum to make pistons, and I need some wood. I'll convert some of that. Okay. We need more cobblestone, which we can do quite easily. Okay. Really? Even more? Okay. Let's do this. As you can see, that cobble gen works quite fast. There we go. Okay. Now we can make our atomic manipulator. Let's just see, the chemical synthesizer also needs one, so we will make 2. Okay, first we'll make the chemical decomposer. This is how we break down objects. And we'll make the chemical synthesizer, which costs a diamond. This is how we rebuild things. Okay, so let's place down the decomposer and the synthesizer. So, chemical decomposer. Let's hide NEI for the moment. Has power. Takes items, splits them into their constituent elements. Let's take a stack of coal. Put it in the chemical decomposer. You can see it very quickly decomposes the coal into carbon nanotubes. Let's just see. Oh, uses a lot of power. But that's okay. We have a lot of power. We are getting basically free power. Okay. Let's look at how we use this carbon. If we go to the chemical synthesis machine, holy cow, there are a lot of uses for it. Okay. Open NEI again. Let's just type in nanotubes. Okay, carbon nanotubes can be made in the chemical synthesis machine with 4 stacks of carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if we come here, we place them. We can then add this, and it will synthesize the carbon nanotubes, which are a stable solid. Now, if we take these and bring them over here, we can tell that, yes, now we know how to make carbon nanotubes. Now, how do we use these to make diamonds? Diamonds are made with 3 carbon nanotubes. We can also directly make flux crystals, which might be a useful thing. Blocks of diamond. Okay. So, if we open our chemist's journal and select carbon nanotubes, we can then put it into the synthesis machine and it will maintain this recipe. It's not really important for us right now. Oh, okay, it is because it, well, okay. As you can see, you can use the journal to highlight a recipe. Let's just see if we can also, no, you can't shift click it in, so that is helpful. But what we can do is take our carbon nanotubes and manually input the recipe, like so. Ooh. Okay, this has to be, there we go, complete stacks. Okay, so using power now, we can convert coal into diamonds. The rate is not particularly favorable. As you can see, I got about 1/3 of a diamond from a stack of coal. Almost 2/3. There is some randomness involved, but a stack of coal did not become a diamond. It's an issue we'll have to deal with. But let's just take a look. Okay, now let's actually make our diamond. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Coal becomes diamonds. Now, you're thinking that If a stack doesn't even become a diamond, I don't have many diamonds here in coal. That's true. But let me show you something. Something miraculous. Something that's going to change the way you think about... Nah, it's not going to really change the way you think about things. Okay, that became graphite bar. Didn't want that, although actually, let's see what a graphite bar is. No, because it is a mod item. Some mod items have info, or have did not want to block coal, I want wood. Okay, here we go. Some mod items will actually, okay, there we go, have a formula, but many don't. Okay, so charcoal also becomes carbon. You know what this means? It means we need a charcoal farm. Once we have a charcoal farm up and running, we can completely automate the production of diamonds, limited only by time, because we have free energy, and energy can grow trees which can be converted into charcoal. I have an idea, not a great idea. Well, anyway, let's see. I think between this episode and next, I will clean this up and put them up on a shelf instead of having them sit on the floor like this. And I'm going to come up with a way, with our current power and technology levels, to have a self-running, self-smelting tree farm that we can set up somewhere, probably not in here, but somewhere in the overworld, and have it automatically turn all that lovely free charcoal into free diamonds. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.